Welcome to Derek Andre TV. I am Derek Andre, and how do you define happiness? Let's talk about it. I'm totally disgusted.
This is Totally Disgusted with your host, Derek Andre.
All right. I'm back. Welcome to Totally Disgusted. I'm your host, Derek Andre, and today we want to talk about how you, my friends, define happiness. How do you define happiness? Webster, or the definition of happiness says, it's a feeling or showing of pleasure, contentment, having a sense of confidence in or satisfaction with a person, arrangement, or situation. That's happy. That's what happy is. That's the definition of happy. Happiness is the state of being. How do you define happiness? Where is your happy place? Where is the place that you go that allows you to truly just unplug and detach yourself from all the craziness that's going on around you? Where do you go? Where do you go? How do you find that place where you can just unwind, where you can just where is that place for you? How do you find that happy spot? The world we live in right now, man, it's crazy. Like, straight up. We live in crazy times, man. We live in like legit crazy times. There's so much going on in this world right now that I don't even know, man. I don't even know how people are making it day to day. Because if you don't have a place to go that will allow you to decompress, you will legit go crazy. Like, straight up. You'll be out there twiddling your thumbs and blah, 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 blah. There's so much going on, man. There's so much going on domestically. There's so much going on internationally. You know, you got the whole government shutdown thing. You got people losing their benefits. You got the holidays just around the corner. You got people without their jobs. You got just, it's still mass pew-pewing going on, man. You got just wars and stuff that are, breaking out. It's just everywhere you look, there is something working around the clock to steal your happiness. How do you prevent that, man? How do you define happiness? How do you put yourself in a place where happiness can console you? What do you do, man? Do you find yourself a good book to read and curl up in a corner? Do you listen to jazz? Do you take long walks? Is there a special someone that you can call on, that you can go to, man? I think I The subject I'm talking about is probably different than what I got here on this screen that says, how do you define happiness? But it still all falls underneath the same umbrella. Because happiness is a necessary tool right about now, man. Is it going to the beach? You know, people got chemical dependencies, man. That's their happiness. You know, people have vices. How do you define it, man? What do you do, man? How do you put yourself in a place that you unplug from all the craziness that's going on? You can't just keep scrolling on social media. You know what I mean? You just can't keep scrolling on social media and looking at all the blogs and turning on the news and all of this. Where is your happy place? How do you define it? Where do you go in order for you to just be like, I can't do this today? What is that for you? How do you define that, man? Where is it? For me, I had a few different things, man, that I do to put me in that happy place. My definition of happiness, man. My definition of happiness is it's just being quiet. I know as much as I talk, y'all probably like, dude, there's no way. But being quiet, man. My wife asks me all the time, if you could do something and you could, what would be your place to go if you could be, your happy place? Where would you go? And I tell her all the time, I would find myself a secluded beach, and I would go to that place, and I would sit down, and I would shut up. I would listen to the ocean as the waves crash up against the shore. I would listen to the seagulls. I would enjoy the breeze. When I used to live in the Virgin Islands, this was before my ex-wife and anybody came. It was just me. My mom and my sister and them were there, but it was me. I didn't have my immediate responsibilities right there with me, but I knew they were coming. And it was stressful because I was fairly confident that I was not 100% prepared for what I was about to embark upon. And I wasn't really sure how I was going to deal with it. So to find those moments of happiness, I would go to the beach. When you live on an island, the majority of the people who live on that island with you only really go to the beach on the weekends. Saturdays can be busy, but Sunday is definitely the family day at the beach. They're going to be barbecuing. There's going to be frisbee playing, kids, everybody going to be at the beach. It's going to be live music and people going to have their little boom boxes and all of that kind of stuff, man. So Sundays are always like 100% family day at the beach. So for me, to make it my happy place, I would always go to the beach during the week where there would be nobody there. It would be the occasional tourist because I lived on a small island. I lived on the island of St. Croix. So it wasn't a big tourist destination. So there was never a whole lot of people there. You never really had to go to the beach. I would go to a beach called Dorch Beach. You never really have to go to the beach and have to worry about fighting for space. You go to a lot of the beaches in the States. You go to like Miami or whatever the case may be, Pensacola, all these other, you go to Galveston, you go to beaches in on the West Coast, stuff like that. You're going to be fighting in most instances for places to kind of post up at the beach. Well, when you live on an island that's not a busy island, that's one thing that you truly don't have to take into consideration too much. And so that was my happy place, man. I would go and I would just sit on the beach, man. I'm going to find me a little quiet spot, man, near a palm tree. so that I could sit underneath that sucker. And I would just relax, man. I would just allow nature to speak to me. I would allow the sun to kiss my skin, man. I would allow the breeze to keep me cool. I would allow the sand. I would use it to exfoliate my feet, man. Then I would get up and I would just go and I would swim. I would get in the water. I'm not an Olympic swimmer, but I ain't gonna drown. So I would go and I would just get in the water. The water was always warm and it was clear. And sometimes I would just float there, or I would stand there and let the waves crash against me. I would lay on my back and float on my back. That was my happy place back then. Now, because I don't live on a tropical island, my happy place, weirdly enough, is downstairs playing my PlayStation and driving. I don't have a car right now. If you've been following me, I lost my car a few months ago now after a long battle. I don't have a car right now. So my happy place is driving. And since I don't have a car, but I do have a PlayStation with a lot of driving games on it, I drive. I can sit down there, man, and just lose myself. And the game I'm playing right now is Forza Horizons. And interestingly enough, it is the setting of the game is in Mexico. And so it's a game where, I'm driving around and it's very tropical. They actually got real weather in the game and stuff like that. So that's how I unwind. When I had a car, I would get out and I would just drive. I live in Georgia. Georgia is a beautiful, scenic place. There's so many back roads, man. There's so many places that you can just get out and you can just drive and ain't nobody gonna bother you. It's 2-lane roads, man. This time of year, you're out driving. The trees are all pretty. The leaves are changing colors, man. That's my happy place, man. That's happiness for me. To just get outside and just allow myself to not think about anything other than what I am doing at that moment. And when it's driving, I focus on driving. I look for roads. I got an app on my phone called Roads, and it's a Porsche app. And what it is, it's user updated. So if you're a driver, a car guy like me, and you enjoy getting out there and driving, it's actually a great little app. And what I would do is on Saturday mornings, man, my wife and I, we would get up and I'd be like, let's go for a ride. And so I would turn on that app, and basically what it is, it's other car and driving enthusiasts that they have routes that they have driven. So you can record a route while you're driving. And because it's for sports car enthusiasts and people that like to drive, it takes you on these really, really nice 2-lane roads, man, back up and down the hills. It take you up through the Blue Mountains and all of these different scenic places, man. That's my happiness, man. That's my happiness. My happiness is just being outdoors and being at peace. What is your happiness? What do you do that makes you happy? How do you define happiness? Because everybody has their own definition. No two people are going to have the same definition for happiness. They may be similar, but there will always be some variation. So what is your definition, man? How do you detach from this crazy, crazy world that we're living in right now? You have to have a way. You have to define your happiness. You have to say, this is what makes me happy. And when this is going on and I need to get away, this is where I'm going to go in order for me to be happy. So how do you define that, man? If you got kids, you need to get away from your kids, man. The kids can be your happiness, but eventually them kids gonna get on your nerves, man. So where's your happy place, man? How do you get away from these little wild kids, man? How do you do it? How do you get away from these little wild kids that be making all that noise, man, breaking stuff, asking you for stuff, calling your name for stuff that they don't really need or want? What's your happy place, man? How do you define it? How do you define happiness? For a long time, there's a period in my life where I struggled with finding those happy places, man. Because life, man, life can get really, really hard. You know, you have issues with relationships that can be challenging. You can have financial hardships, which can be challenging, man. You have family members that, you know, can be driving you nuts. You can have some things that go on, man, that really test you. And for many years, man, it just seemed like it was just catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe that was going on in my life. And I'm just like, I'm losing myself. I was talking to my mother the other day, and she was telling me how much brighter I look. And she's right. I do look brighter because I'm finding balance. I'm finding happiness in my situations, regardless of what the situations may be. When I'm going through stuff, man, I could look in the mirror and my eyes, they just look dim. You know how when a baby is born and they're really starting to become alert, and you look at them, the whites of their eyes are brighter than anything that you'll ever see. They don't have a care in the world. There's nothing dimming their light. Their eyes are just extremely bright. They look around and see what's going on, and everything is fresh and new to them. And, you know, they're taking the world in just one little bite at a time. Because, you know, they got to put everything in their mouths, man. And so their eyes are bright. And as they get older, as adults, we sometimes find a way to dim that brightness, man. And so when I would look at myself when I was in those dark periods of my life, man, I would look in my face, in my own face, in the mirror. And I'm not being dramatic when I say this. There would be times that I would feel like I was literally dying on the inside. I used to tell my wife, I would tell my mother that I felt like I was cursed. I felt like there was just this dark cloud that was following me because I was always under all of this stress. I was always going through all of these different things, and I couldn't find my happiness. I couldn't find it. I would be looking, man, and it seemed like as soon as I would think, okay, I found my happiness, something would come and strip it away. And so I would look at myself, and my skin just seemed dark. There was no brightness in my eyes anymore. I had lost my happiness. And I knew that in order for me to keep going and to find some quality of life, that I was going to have to find it. I was going to have to dig that happiness up and bring it back, dust it off, polish it up, and put that happiness back into my world. I look at people all the time, man, because before I worked for Amazon, I was a Lyft driver for many years. And I would look at people, man, when I would talk to them. And people were struggling to find happiness. They were struggling to define what makes them happy. You could hear it in their conversations. You could see it written all over their faces. I've had many people over my 7 years of driving for Lyft tell me that they were so happy that I was their driver. Because when you get in the car with me, my number one goal, other than to get you to your destination safely, is to see if I can be that bright spot in your day. You can't do it for everyone, but those that you can do it for, give it your best shot. At the end of my videos, when I do my videos about my me being a 55-year-old Amazon delivery driver, at the end of my videos, before I say be peace, be love, be one, I always say be a light to someone. And if you can't be a light to someone, don't dim theirs. But be a light to someone because you know on those dark days, you want someone to be a light for you. You have to find happiness. You have to find a way to define what makes you happy. And when you are able to define what makes you happy, you have to go for it with guns a-blazing. Both feet forward, all the other little cliches and quotes and all the other little, you have got to go towards that happiness with everything that you have in you. The purpose of the society that we live in today is to break us. It's to break us. Everything that's going on in the world around us is strategically designed to break us. Why do you think we have all of these school shootings and all of these people dealing with these mental health issues? The things that are going on in the world that we live in is designed to break us. It's designed to keep us from noticing all the beauty that surrounds us. In your 24-hour day, you will definitely have more good happen to you than bad. I had a post on my TikTok one day and I said that very same thing. And a guy commented, man, I have to disagree with you on that. I was like, man, well, you already setting yourself up to not be able to make that a reality. Because you already got the mindset that my whole day gonna be tore up because of A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And it doesn't have to be like that. The majority of your day is filled with great things. If you really stop and think about it. If you watch the news is maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour long. The majority of what you see on the news is what? It's negative. If you scroll through social media, depending on who you follow and all this, that, and the other, if you scroll through social media, you would think that the majority of the world is just bad. It's just negative. It's just horrible. It's just this. It's just that. That is so far from the truth. There is always more good that goes on in this world than there is bad. There has to be, because there are more good people in the world than there are bad. Yes, there are people that go to bed hungry every night. But there are also people feeding folks so that they don't have to go to bed hungry every night. But you don't always hear about the folks that are doing the feeding. But you damn sure gonna hear about the folks that are hungry. Because drama and controversy sells. It is designed to get that emotional knee-jerk reaction out of you, to make you believe that there's more negative going on in the world than there is positive stuff. But that's simply not true. It's just not. There will always be more good in this world. Always. There will always be more good in this world. There will always be ways for you to find happiness if you choose to find happiness. Now, if you choose to only look at the negative and be angry and upset, then yes. I used to tell a young lady that I dated all the time, she had this terrible worldview, man. She was angry about everything. And I would tell her, I was like, you are the only person that I know that could look at a beautiful rose and only see the thorns. Yes, a rose can be terrible if all you focus on is the fact that the rose has thorns. But if you ever decide to look at the rose, ignore the thorns, and look at how beautiful and full the petals are. Look at how red and vibrant they look. Take a sniff. Just get a whiff of what they're fragrant. But all you see are the thorns. If all you want to do is be unhappy, man, hey, more power to you. Do you. What the young folks say, go off. But you don't have to be unhappy. Being unhappy, that's a choice. And I've learned that over the years, man. I told you, I got tired of looking at myself in the mirror unhappy. I had to define my happiness. I could just see the life leaving me. And if you know me personally, you'll know that I've always been full of life. I've always been the glass half full, not half empty guy. That's always been my mentality. That's how I teach my kids to be. That's how I am the one. People, my friends, they were going through, they knew they could call Derek and Derek would find a way to help them find that happy place again. And so when I'm looking at myself and all I see is pain and all I see is hurt and all I see is sadness, I said, something's got to change, man. How am I going to define my happiness? Because if I can't define it, I can't find it. I don't need people to make me happy. Happiness is not going to come from other people. If you're depending on other people for your happiness, you're going to be in bad shape, because people, regardless of how much you love them, how much they say they love you, people at some point are always going to let you down. Not intentionally. It's not because they want to let you down. It's just human nature, because people move on different frequencies. You know, people do things differently. So if you're depending on people for your happiness, you're barking up the wrong tree. Happiness has to come from inside you. It can't come from any other source. There are people that can be a part of your happiness. I love my wife. My wife is an integral part of my happiness, but she is not my happiness. I have to have my own happiness, just like she has to have her own happiness. I can't be her happiness. I can be instrumental in making it easier for her to navigate to get to her happiness. I can do things to make her feel happy, but I, Derek A. Brown Sr., cannot be her happiness. That has to come from within her. And the same goes for you. You have to define your happiness so that you can find your happiness. You're going to go through things in life, man, that is going to make you spend several days, weeks, months, sometimes even years sad. It's inevitable. No matter how great an attitude you have, no matter how positive your energy is, there's some things that are going to happen in your life that are going to test your strength. That's going to put your happiness under pressure. Don't lose it. You may have to set your happiness to the side while you kind of gather yourself together because, life makes you do things that may not necessarily be happy, but you still got to do them. So you may have to put your happiness to the side for just a little while. But don't leave it. Don't walk away and leave it unattended. Keep up with your happiness like you keep up with your cell phone. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You hard pressed to walk out the house and leave your cell phone. You'll be halfway to work. Look down and be like, oh damn, I got to go all the way back home. You'll be 20 minutes away. You're going to be 20 minutes late for work because you had to drive 20 minutes back the other way to get your cell phone. Put that same kind of attention, that same dedication, put that with your happiness, man. Don't ever leave your happiness just unattended. You might have to put it in your pocket. You can't use your happiness at every. You can have it, but you may not be able to use it at every turn. But you always need to keep it with you because at some point it's going to play a role in your day. When I first started this live, I was talking about how I would have to go places and do things. Sometimes you don't have that luxury to be able to go someplace to be happy, to be able to do something to be happy. Sometimes you just have to be able to find happiness inside you in the midst of your chaotic day. If I'm at work, I can't just leave work and go to the beach. If I'm at work, I just can't leave work and go take a drive. I can't just leave work and play my PlayStation. I just can't leave work and read a book. I can't just. Sometimes you have to say, you know what? Let me just go inside myself. Find that place inside me, that quiet place, that I can tune out all of this chaos. And I can find a way to bring some balance back into my world. I can't leave. I can't go to the beach. I can't go do this. I can't go ride my bike. I can't go jogging. I can't go to the gym. I'm stuck here. So how am I going to find my happiness in this space right now? That's why you have to define your happiness. And it doesn't just have to be one place or one way to define your happiness. There are multiple ways. You can't, that's like saying you can only like one food. You like all kinds of food, man. So just like you like all kinds of food, you can find multiple ways to be happy. But the most important part of it is you have to find it. You have to define your happiness for you. Everybody knows somebody who puts all of their weight on somebody else to make them happy. That's not anybody else's responsibility, man. That is your responsibility. Your responsibility is to make yourself happy. Because at the end of the day, the only person that you're around 24/7 is you. So if you don't have the ability to make yourself happy and you with yourself all day, then how you think somebody else gonna be able to do that for you? We are complete. When God created us complete. Every single thing that we need in order to heal ourselves physically, emotionally, and mentally actually lives inside of us. But for so long, we have been taught to look outside of ourselves to find the things that we need in order for us to make it day to day. Break that cycle. Break it. You have what you need to heal yourself from all the leads, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, financially. Remember, we are made in the likeness of God. And if you're made in the likeness of God, what does that mean? That means that you are a God. You are not the God, but you are a God. And if you are a God, that means that you have godlike powers. And if you have godlike powers, that means that you have the uncanny ability to be able to heal yourself. Stop looking outside of yourself for the things you need to make you happy. In order for you to define happiness, your happiness, you have to find what makes you happy on the inside. And nobody else can do that for you but you. So, tell me in the comments, how do you define happiness? I'm going to be happy. I'm going to do everything in my power to be happy. It's not a perfect recipe. I struggle with it still to this day. But because I know that I am my source for happiness and I have total control over how or why I'm happy, I know that I have to make a concerted effort to be happy regardless of what's going on around me, regardless of what's happening in my world. I have to be responsible for my own happiness. You have to be responsible for your own happiness. It is nobody else's job. Nobody else's job. There will always be people that come into your life that will bring happiness with them to be a part of your world. But your world has to be happy whether they're with you or not. That's like when you hear people in relationships say, this is, we need to be 50-50. No, you need to be 100-100. 50-50. You start losing some things and y'all 50-50. Guess what? Now you 48-50. So now that person got to step it up. Now they got to be 52-58. God forbid you lose 20 points. Now you 30. That means they got to be 70. No, man, you got to be 100-100. You got to come complete. Because if you can come complete, that means that you can stay complete. If you that broken, then you don't need to be with nobody. If all you can bring to the relationship is 50% of you, if you go to the grocery store and you buy a loaf of bread, it's only got 50% of the bread in there, you're going to feel cheated. You buy a box of cereal, open the box of cereal, and half the cereal ain't in there. You're going to feel cheated. You want 100%. You bring 100, they bring 100. That way, you ain't dependent on nobody for your happiness. I would tell people when I was dating, I don't need you to make me happy. I just want you for companionship. I know how to make myself happy. I know how to spend time with myself. I can be comfortable with myself. I know how to take myself to the movies. I know how to feed myself. I know how to keep my house clean. I know how to do my own laundry. I know how to manage my own money and pay my own bills. I know how to do all of that stuff by myself. So when I bring you into my life, I'm not bringing you into my life to make me happy. I'm just bringing you into my life to be my companion so that we can try to be happy together. I have to be happy on my own. I can't be unhappy and think that, if I get with this person, they'll make me happy. Oh, that didn't work. If I get with this person, they'll make me happy. Oh, that didn't work. If I get with this person, that didn't. I have to be happy for myself. And then it doesn't matter who I bring into my life Because if it doesn't work, then I ain't lost no happiness. I dodged a bullet. You feel me? Because if you already got happiness and you bring somebody into your life and they ain't bringing happiness and you can get rid of them, then you dodged a bullet. But if you bringing a person into your life because you think you need them for their happiness and they bring you some kind of little, what's the word I'm looking for? Little inkling of happiness. And then are you afraid to let them go? Because if I let them go, the little bit of happiness that I had, I ain't going to have no more. So you ain't got that problem if you are happy on your own, by yourself. How do you define happiness? And once you figure out how to define happiness, then, my friends, you can find happiness. And that happiness already exists inside you. So if you're watching this video and you're not feeling very happy right now, don't feel defeated. Take some time and figure out what it is that you need to do to make you happy. Not who you need to do or who you need to be around. Sometimes being by yourself is a great start. There's a big difference between being alone and being lonely. I'm not telling anybody to be lonely. Lonely is depressing. I've been lonely before. Lonely is very depressing. I'm not telling you to be lonely. But sometimes in order for you to get the answers that you need and to get the results that you need, you have to spend some time alone. You have to. Because in order for you to make any progress in your life, you have to be comfortable with you. And there are a lot of people that exist in this world right now that are so unhappy and uncomfortable with themselves. So they have to surround themselves with people that they think will make them feel better. But all they do is mistreat them because they don't know how to treat themselves. And so they run them away, and then the cycle continues. It's just a big vicious cycle. Just keeps going back and forth, round in circle 3. If you want true happiness, if you want to define your happiness, to find your happiness, you have to dig deep within yourself. And I believe you can. All right, y'all, that's my show for today. If you are new to the channel, thank you very much for stopping by. I truly appreciate you. If you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. I'm really trying hard to grow this channel so that I can do more videos like this on a more frequent basis. Right now, I only do my show on Mondays and Tuesdays because those are the days that I'm actually off from work. But I would love to be able to do this on a more full-time basis. But if I'm only going to be able to do it on Monday and Tuesday, then Monday and Tuesday it is. I will be adding guests, getting my studio set up. I got some stuff to do in my daughter's old room. I'm transforming that into a studio. And so that will allow me to actually record at different points throughout the day. Right now, I'm just kind of recording when my wife is not at home because my studio is currently set up in our bedroom. So once I get the new studio set up, then I'll be able to invite guests because I'll be able to accommodate people at different times throughout the day. And then I can have conversations with actual people. So if you are a returning guest to the channel, thank you so much. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to return and remembering to check out Who is Derek Andre TV. Please tell a friend. Please like, please comment, and please share. All right. If you are interested in learning more about me and about Derek Andre and who I am and what I do, then please, by all means, stop by my website. It's derekandre.com. You can watch more of my videos. You can purchase books. I'm an author. I try to write things that are positive and uplifting. that keep people encouraged and motivated. I have clothing lines. I have 2 t-shirt brands. One is called Bum to Billions. The other is called Autographs. Bum to Billions. Bum is an acronym for breaking unhealthy mindsets, because I believe in order for you to have a very full life, you have to break those old chains. You have to get to the point where you're leaving those old mindsets behind and you're adopting a new one. And so that's why I chose to name my clothing brand Bum. Breaking unhealthy mindsets is Bum to Billions. So Autographs is just basically tees like this. This says Tune Out Toxic Music. This is on my autograph tee. So I got a couple of different sites. I also have an album out. So it's an instrumental album. Nice, chill, laid back. What you're listening to in the background is from my album. So there's so many different ways that you can learn more about me. And if you want to support me as an artist, and if you want to support the channel, all of those things kind of work in tandem. They work hand in hand. So that's my show for today, y'all. That's it. I will do another show tomorrow. I'm not sure what my topic will be tomorrow, so you'll just have to tune in to see. Hopefully you will come back, and hopefully you'll bring some friends with you. As always, before I go, I got a few videos that I did of my little character. His name's Lil Dab, and Lil Dab always has a message to end with, so I'm going to turn this over to Lil Dab, and thank y'all, man. I love you. Be peace, be love, be one. Remember, when you go out in the world, be a light to someone. If you can't be a light to someone, don't dim theirs, because you know you would want somebody to be a light for you. All right. So we're going to get to Lil Dab, and then I'm going to do the rest of my little outro, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I love y'all, man. Be peace, be love, be one, and I'll see you in the next video.
As you can see, I'm about to risk it all, baby. I'm about to put it all out there. And then I started thinking, that's kind of how life is. Mm-hmm. In order to get any kind of reward, you got to take some risks. That's right. But see, a lot of people are scared to take risks, so they always just play the background. But that's okay. I ain't one of them people, and you shouldn't be either. Tell them, get out there and take some chances. Lil Dab out. Ha ha! Let's get some money. Let's get it. Unhappy with your life? Are you unhappy with your life? Well, that's probably because you keep asking for the wrong stuff. See, I asked for a submarine. I didn't ask for a working submarine, and this is what the universe provided for me. See, when you get specific in your desires and you ask for the things exactly the way you want them, the universe has no choice but to provide it. Remember that.